a lot, because I did feel that my work at Apple was meaningful, you know, and I did have that sense. And
well, also with that, I mean, you also have to be thinking about, if I leave this job here to go start a company, then, you know, how do I like sort of pay for my bills in between then? You know, where do I live? Am I okay making that big jump? Which I'm sure a lot of people would be thinking the same thing too, is maybe I want to leave a company like that, but can I survive out there? Ooh, how did you process that?
I think when you fall in love with a problem, right? I mean, the problem for me is, you know, underemployment in the Philippines was continuing to go up, and the pandemic wasn't going to was not helping it. And it was just, it's such a big problem. And I think I just kind of fell in love with the problem that nothing else mattered. Like I felt like I need to be part of trying to solve this problems in my country. And so, yes, you know, people might say it was ill-advised to leave, you know, this my career at Apple during the pandemic, because I left in 2021. But like, yeah, I just think that opportunity to be part of solving this problem was greater in that moment. And I mean, it wasn't completely without analysis and thinking, you know.
I understand
you know?
that. Yeah.
And I think, you know, we're all gifted with resources and a brain and an opportunity to be planful. And so, you know, part of that was kind of projecting out, like, what are ways that I can reduce my expenses? You know, I got rid of my own apartment, right? I really minimized my expenses. And I'm continuing to do so that I can self-fund a lot of what I'm working on in the Philippines. And of course, I have a great group of mentors and advisors and family who have been behind me from the inception stage, you know? And so I had that support around me to go for it. Like, I wasn't a lone ranger, just sort of by myself. And with that kind of support and community, I felt like, okay, let's go for it. And sure, I feel like I'm leaving money on the table, you know, and I felt like there was so much room for impact and growth at Apple, 100%. Like, I felt like I did not expect to leave Apple in 2021. Like, no way. Before the pandemic, I didn't expect that at all. I had a long-term view, honestly, for my time at Apple.
And it was more about, wasn't that you couldn't grow with Apple. The opportunities were there, and you would have loved to been a part of it, but there was just something that you said, this is where I really need to be at. This requires more of my time, and I'm so thankful for my time at Apple. Yes. With that, if you were to give advice to anybody about how to survive in a tech environment, what would be your best piece of advice to anybody getting into, from your experience, Apple especially, about how to get through the daily life, about what to plan for, what to expect with expectations? How would you give people the best advice to survive in that environment?
Again, always know why you're doing what you're doing. You know, I think and this applies to anyone at any level. If you're being asked to do something and you don't really know why you're doing it, that's a problem. So, you know, whether you're an intern, an analyst, or a senior executive, like, you know, like, just always knowing, why is this work, this project, this assignment, whatever, what's the reason for it? How does it connect to the big picture goals of the organization? Know that. And if you don't know that, that's a problem in my mind. And that knowing that, like, how your work connects to the bigger picture allows you to prioritize better. Because otherwise you're constantly going to be reacting, because there's an endless amount in technology. It's beautiful because you can always optimize it and make it better, faster, you know, stronger, all of these things. So the pace, it's fast for sure. And that's the beauty of it. So if you don't want that fast pace, may not be a good fit for you. But if you're excited by that fast pace, which, you know, honestly, I am. I love that pace. But there's always just endless opportunities to innovate and optimize something.